Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Mike Nierychlo Online, sharing my love for people, wine, food, and all things made passionately. So you can see we're in a little bit of a different setting today. I'm in Terry David Mulligan's studio here, where he, well, first of all, who is Terry David Mulligan?
Oh, that's a big question. How much time have you got?
Just give her.
That's actually with the name that was handed to me by my family. My uncle's name was Terry Mulligan, and so they called me, in his honor, they called me Terry David. And in order to differentiate between the two of us and our family, I became Terry David. So when I went into radio, I was a Mountie in Alberta, and I went into radio, and they said, well, what name do you want to use? I said, Terry David Mulligan. They said, well, it's way too bulky. Oh, no. Nobody uses three names. Yeah. I said, but see, it's my name. Well, why don't you call yourself Mark Short or something? No, I just want to call myself my name. Oh, it'll never work. Anyway, it turned out pretty well. It turned out okay. But
I've been told the same thing on a few occasions.
No, you have to get a new name.
Oh,
you have got to get a new name.
So you can start calling me John Smith if you like.
What's the worst mispronunciation of your name that you've heard yet?
Nierychlo. I've got that. Nierychlo.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd go with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I once got a letter at the CBC, a contest envelope addressed to Charlie David Pelican. And I don't know if they were fooling or just or they completely misunderstood my name. But I kept that one.
Yeah, why not?
Anyway, so who I am is I'm a broadcaster. Mm-hmm. I do radio, I do television, I do film, I do stage occasionally, and currently this is the studio that I do. I do two shows from there. I put this studio in this barn because I needed a place to do Mulligan Stew for CKUA, which is a great network in Alberta. It's listener supported. We don't have anything like it in BC. It's listener supported, so there's no commercials per se, and everybody that does their various shows are all specializing in that show. Like Holger Peterson does the show in front of me on Saturday afternoons, and he's been doing that show for 40 years, a blues show for 40 years. He's got his own label. Yeah. And then I hand off to an R&B show. So it's the kind of blues R&B side of rock and roll and rhythm and blues and reggae. Yeah. And so I've been doing that for 15 years and still playing vinyl.
Vinyl's the true thing.
I love the vinyl. Yeah. That's the first thing my kids stole from me. That's why I knew it was valuable. And the other thing is I moved up here 3 years ago to the Okanagan, to Naramata, up in Ticton. And when I got here, I realized that there was no wine show on radio. And I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And so I pitched it, and they said, well, is anybody, what do you mean, is anybody interested? Millions of dollars are spent in this valley. Millions of dollars in tourism and wine and everything that goes with it, all the profiles that you see. And I just said, and I had seen, we were doing a pilot for Hollywood and Vines, and we followed, how could I forget her name? Hold on a second. Gina Gallo. Okay. Gina. And we followed her through Sonoma, and she, at one point she said, I got to take this microphone off because I have to go and do my radio show. I said, what do you mean radio show? She said, every Saturday morning I talk to winemakers. And she got up there, and there was a round table on a veranda, and there were four or five other winemakers, and they talked for an hour just about, it was very because it was a winemaker show. Yeah. So I love that idea, and I thought, let's make it a group discussion, let's make it as many voices as possible, and let's make it about everything. So the show has evolved into me doing interviews here, doing interviews in the field, and so it's winemakers, sommeliers, wine growers, writers, celebrities, people who know nothing about wine, people who don't drink. Just getting a sense of lifestyle, you know.
Well, you mentioned Hollywood and Vines. What's that all about? That's Jason Priestley and you, right?
That's right. We conceived of that. It took almost 7 years to get that off the ground after we started talking about it, and after he finished, you know, putting his race car into a retaining wall at 182 miles an hour, and had to learn how to speak and walk and talk again. And so we went out and shot. We've done 2 years now of Hollywood and Vines, and we've been, Spain, Italy, Napa, Sonoma twice, through here twice, Ontario, Nova Scotia, and great fun, having great fun with celebrity guests, and we just wanted to what you do, demystify the world of wine, except Priestley just never admitted to the audience that he was a snob. He was a wine snob. You know, oh, let's talk about this. Oh, what varietal is this? So it was my job to look at the camera and go, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Do you know what they're talking about? Because I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, for those of you who haven't,
now I'm okay. Now after 3 years of doing the show, I'm pretty much up to it now. I kind of get a sense of it.
Figured out.
You can't see it, but I planted some Moscato.
Oh, did you?
I planted it for a number of reasons. One, to just see if I could not kill all the plants, and two, I figured if I knew what they were going through out there, the wine growers and the winemakers, then I would have a better understanding of what to ask them. You know?
Absolutely. Well, and you can't see it off camera right here, but Terry's got a really shameful view outside of his his studio here.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, you can't go in. The whole Nierychlo benches behind us and everything. And Terry went a little bit of Hollywood and Vines, but if you haven't had a chance to see the show, I'll leave the links below for you as well for tasting room. But Hollywood and Vines is just. They're a bunch of goofs. They just have a lot of fun. They're out there just having a good time, but they're still introducing wine on a level that everybody can understand.
That's what we had to do. I did all the editing here, and with Bridget in Calgary, and I had to make some hard choices as to what to leave in, which was funny, and what information an audience could come away with. You still have to come away with information.
Of course.
And if you're going to go to Italy, you can't just do goofy stuff in Italy. You've got to tell them what Italy's about and what Brancai is about and Castello di Gabbiano, and you have to still tell their story. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and great interviews with Hollywood celebrities and the ones who really have a lot of deep, eclectic wine knowledge, and those who
who have nothing.
Love wine. Oh, it's wine. It's got alcohol in it. And then, it's just a good time. And if you go to their website as well, I was checking it out the other day, but they've got some great bloopers on there and a good trailer and everything. And
that's outside. Some of the outtakes we couldn't even show you.
Sounds like a good time.
It's usually me sleeping somewhere.
Yeah. Well, Terry, thank you so much for having us by your place.
You're welcome.
It's great to be here.
We're going to turn this around, so after we turn the camera off, I'm going to interview these guys about their blog.
Yeah.
And about the show and what they've learned from their brief time here in Naramata, and then we'll have it on Tasting Room.
Sounds like a plan. Cool. So thanks so much for watching today. Again, I'll have the links below the video for you to check out, and we'll see you on the next episode.